Good evening, you're watching BTV News at 9 p.m. and we are broadcasting live from the capital, Gaborone. My name is Benson Pitero. First, let's take a look at stories making headlines this hour. President Advocate Duma Boko back home from a working visit in the U.S. And government commits to work with stakeholders in fighting gender-based violence. Companies continue to extend a helping hand to flood victims. You're watching BTV News at 9, interpreting on sign language, Stopo Taposa. The President, Advocate Duma Boko, is back home from a working visit in the United States of America. President Boko was to take part in the launch of Botswana's first satellite, which has since been rescheduled to a later date due to adjustments by the operator SpaceX. BOTSWANA was conceptualized by Botswana International University of Science and Technology, be used to tap into the technology space. During his working visit, President also toured the Space Rocket Launch Factory, the Starlink mini production facility, and met with potential investors. Government has signed a landmark agreement with United Arab Emirates-based company called CCI Global, a leading BPO service provider in Africa. The agreement was signed by the Chief Executive Officer of BPO, Mr. Martin Rowe, and President Advocate Duma Boko. A statement from the Office of the President says the signing marks a significant milestone in diversifying Botswana's economy. The new BPO hub is expected to generate thousands of skilled job opportunities in Botswana in areas such as customer support, data entry, IT services, and digital marketing, prioritizing youth engagement and career development in the digital economy. Moving on, 27 civil society organizations have laid off over 1,200 employees following the suspension of foreign aid by the United States new administration. This was highlighted in a meeting with the Vice President, Mr. Ndabankosinati Khaolate, the United Nations Resident Coordinator, Mr. Zia Chaudhry, and some ministry health officials and other stakeholders in the health sector at Office of the President this morning. The Ministry of Health, civil society organizations and stakeholders were therefore called on to remodel and improve coordination to improve efficiency in the health sector. Totang Matabapiri with more.
Botswana has been fortunate to receive various amounts of aid funds over the years, and this year it was expecting $54 million from the government of the United States of America to support programs in the health sector, notably funding for direct service delivery and technical support in HIV and AIDS prevention and care programs. In the wake of U.S. aid funding freeze, the Vice President met with this delegation to discuss challenges and identify the significant and immediate impact resulting in reduction of primary healthcare services for prevention of spread of HIV and AIDS, as well as to map the way forward.
We are under budgeted with that much, especially hard hitting for the civil society organizations, like I've said. But then also, if you look at that and you compare with what we spent as a government on that, we spent just about 9 billion pula on healthcare as a country per annum. So yes, it matters. It is quite a bit of something. By and large, Botswana is still able to quite a huge impact in terms of employment. Because we affected over 1,200 people by and large, they were directly employed. Gets on these civil society organizations.
Of course. So in the HIV AIDS sector, immediately what we see is a reduction, significant reduction of outreach to populations who are at risk of catching HIV, particularly you could say from the sex workers, from young girls, adolescent girls, and also the LGBTQI community. So there are a number of people who are extremely vulnerable, and they are sometimes falling outside of the regular health system. So those are people who are being served often in parallel with government by civil society organizations or NGOs. So we're going to turn this crisis into an opportunity to just get much better at what we do, to make sure we continue serving the people of Botswana.
However, the Minister of Health assures Botswana that all is not lost.
there's been a lot of wastage in the sector. Better coordination and planning such that different forms of funding and support tse di tsena mo Botswana is ka nna gore mongwe le mongwe o eme halale no so literal planning ya gagwe, because we tlhela gona le duplication, and sometimes gona le madi a leng gore because ga gona proper planning and coordination we tla re go file re mo file e be le gore at the end of the day ha nna gongwe re le more streamlined nka bene re kgonne go achieve the same for less.
Mr. Wokeditse reiterated that government remain resolute to provide quality healthcare services to all its citizenry, and currently consultative meetings between stakeholders are ongoing with set timelines to fill in the noticeable gaps. Tlotlam Matlabaphiri, BTV News, Gaborone.
Serowe district councillors are optimistic that relocating primary healthcare services from the Ministry of Health to the Ministry of Local Government and Traditional Affairs will drastically improve primary healthcare across the country. They, however, implored that the budget allocated should facilitate for a smooth transition so that service delivery is not adversely affected. Gabriel Mereki with more.
Councillors say, although the transfer of clinics to the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Affairs is a welcome development, they are skeptical that should the clinics be transferred in the state they are currently in, it will bring forced debilitating effects.
Transfer of maintenance funds to councils. Has there been any verification if these funds are available? Because on as Red District Council, we are financially dilapidated.
I've been requesting in this house that our clinic, UNAMAVELA, which is a catchment area, be upgraded or be renovated. But the answer was always the same, that there is lack of funds to maintain. Yeah, no, my question is, we might be inheriting a very huge problem. Maintain the health facilities.
The transfer also means the monetary load will now be borne by the Ministry of Local Government and Traditional Affairs.
We prepare to improve service delivery and efficiency in the healthcare system. Government has decided to transfer primary healthcare services from the Ministry of Health to the Ministry of Local Government and Traditional Affairs effective 1st April 2025. This means that effective next month, all clinics will fall directly under the Ministry of Local Government and Traditional Affairs. They will therefore be supervised at the local level by yourself, Honorable Chairman.
There will be a fair and equitable sharing of resources. Rayang hore. Se di leng teng, se di tshwanetse go kgaoganwa ke Minister of Health, the Minister of Local Government, Traditional Affairs.
There will be a fair sharing of resources. All the available resources will be shared between the clinics and hospitals. All the supplies that have been ordered for clinics and will arrive after the 1st of April will be directed straight to the clinics. There will also be a certain workforce that will continue assisting at the clinics and hospitals. With the public for years decrying poor service delivery in health facilities across the country, these new developments could be a response needed to improve health facilities and ensure quality health care. Gabriel Mereki, BTV News, Serowe.
And our government recognizes the importance of stakeholder engagement in addressing gender-based violence and drafting of policies and new laws. The Minister of Youth and Gender Affairs, Ms. Lesoko Chombo, made the remarks at the International Women's Day celebrations in Ramota. She says doing so is crucial in the country's aspirations to end gender-based violence and its endeavor to empower women. Lone Sukobo with more.
Women came in droves in Ramota to commemorate International Women's Day, a day that looks back at their struggles in an effort to champion their future. Young and old were all geared up to hold hands together in this journey as women. But this commemoration comes at a time where women and girls are faced with gender-based violence, something that deprives them the power to navigate societal challenges. Aware of this, government will not let women suffer any longer.
As we also recognize Bothokaba Mahosi re bone go le botlhokwa to continue and engage them on gender mainstreaming ya ka go setse go builwe e be re itse how we align gender equity.
Government recognized the importance and the role played by the Dikgosi in gender mainstreaming issues as we continue to engage with them on how we can align gender equity and how we balance and infuse it with cultural values and norms. We are committed to improve women access to justice, hence formulation of gender mainstreaming guidelines, as well as developing women empowerment. Kgosi Mosadi Seboko, a renowned leader in Botswana, is adamant that women can rise above what they are today. We must come together to find solutions to address the current status of GBV for better living and safe space.
We need to work together to reinterpret traditions in ways that upholds women's rights. When we empower women, we strengthen our entire community.
As their issues transcend across geographical boundaries, Botswana women are reminded to keep the faith of their ability, just like those in other parts of the world. We must unite with one common goal to fight gender-based violence and help formulate new laws that embrace gender equity. Apart from gender-based violence that women in Botswana continues to encounter, a noticeable number of them have risen up the ladder in government institutions, an effort seen as an empowering tool to the girl child. Lwane Sekobo, BTV News, Ramotswa.
And now the Deputy Managing Director of Global Center for Climate Mobility, Ms. Sarah Rosengeithner, has revealed that she is optimistic that through the nationwide stakeholder consultation workshops, they will be able to formulate a comprehensive blueprint for action by the government in addressing issues of climate change. Ms. Rosengeithner said this in Jwaneng during the second community engagement.
We are in Botswana on a partnership with the Ministry of Environment and Tourism, and we had a workshop here in Jwaneng today to talk about climate impacts and climate adaptation measures. So really we wanted to hear from members of the community what are the effects of climate change that they're feeling and seeing in their lives, whether it's the effects on farmers and agricultural practices, whether it's from the health side.
The National Agricultural Research and Development Institute, NADI, have signed a dual memorandum of understanding with Insect Factory and Pinnacle Geomatics, paving way for the groundbreaking collaborations in insect research, innovation, and sustainable agriculture. Speaking during the signing of the MOU, Minister Dr. Edwin Dikoloti says the partnership will focus on insect identification, monitoring, and management through innovative solutions such as biological control methods. The collaboration between NADI and the two companies is seen as a significant step in addressing challenges affecting farmers across the country.
NADI, through these partnerships, is ensuring that we have a footprint nationally and internationally. So that is how we are making sure that these partnerships come in, but they have to be impactful collaborations. We don't want the numbers, we want impact.
We're choosing to be intentional in creating value through the MOUs. Our gathering today is driven by an urgent need to combat a disaster threatening our nation's food security, that is the infestation of fall army and African armyworms. These pests invaded our fields, our pastures, our crops, putting a risk to the livelihoods of our farmers and the economic empowerment derived from agriculture. Despite favorable rains across the country, this crisis demands immediate action.
You're watching BTV News, and the Office of the President continues to receive donations from private companies and NGOs to assist the victims who were left without homes and basic necessities due to the floods that devastated parts of the country. When receiving donations from Business Botswana, Glazing Botswana and Doctors Union, the Minister for State President, Mr. Moeti Mohwasa, said it is heartwarming to see citizens extending a helping hand towards the flood victims to ensure that they do not go to bed hungry and they retain as much normalcy as they can, regardless of the unfortunate circumstances. With more.
Business Botswana donated food and sanitary towels, while Glazing Botswana donated 40,000 pula. The Doctors Unit donated 15,000 pula. According to National Disaster Management Office, 19 districts reported incidences of disaster during the floods that happened in February.
Food hampers, 14 of each, except for sanitary pads, which they've donated 18 packets and 33 bottles of water. In addition, they have also they're donating the power bank.
As private companies, we have to support the government so that those affected by floods may have provisions.
Ra itse gore mo nakong ya kgoberego e pehela ya ditsatlholego e le dipula ka paeng hela bongaka bone ba nna ba le teng ga re ntshele madi hela re ntsha le ditlamelo tse le gore
As doctors, we will always be there to offer our support.
le dikokelwana tse tsotlhe me re ra gore ka bonyenyane bo honorable minister re santse re butse letole la rona re tlo go nna re ntse re tla ga re boa gantsintsi
BOTSWANA se se thata santse re se leboge mme ya ka no tlhalosa ha o simolola kana mora gore BOTSWANA ke bone ba ileng gore ba le dirile gore ba nne selleng sone mme ke tsa le sone se se dira ya no le la ya no.
Thank you for donating and helping fellow citizens.
Ke peeletso ga se peeletso hela ka go ba ke peeletso ka gore o ba mothara gore go go pele ha re le BOTSWANA o rotwetsa moa one o puso e bua ka gore a re tshwetsaneng ra ga re ne re go ga le mmogo.
Those who wish to donate for flood victims are advised to contact the Office of the President at toll-free number 0800 600 130. BTV News, Gaborone.
The Member of Parliament for Khanzi North, Mr. Noah Machiachau Salakai, has urged the residents of Bere to start using their funds in the trust account to speed up village development. He was addressing a quota meeting in Bere where residents decried lack of developments in the area. Now Mudunga reports.
Bere village is located in the southern part of Khanzi. Just as other villages, this village has a community trust called Twiskurusa, which takes care of natural resources. This trust is run by the villages of Bere, Katsai, West Hanahai, as well as East Hanahai. And it is said that they have funds amounting to more than 2 million in their account. Therefore, the Minister Salakai suggested to the community to come up with ways of developing their village, tapping from this capital. At many times we take these committees for granted and we put people who want to use this money to their own benefit in these committees.
Million. 800,000 3 million.
Residents pleaded that the roads which connects them to Trans-Kalahari Highway be tarred and also want electricity in their village. Kindly help us with one block of classroom at our primary school. We don't have transport at the clinic. Kindly help us with it.
Through trusts. You can't without them. Nothing for them without them. That's why one only trust only the BDC.
Minister assured this gathering that the mandate of the new government is to protect women's rights, and thus he explained that they are in negotiations with companies to pay their employees money not less than 4,000 pula. Neo Mudumwa was on television. Bere.
Time now for sports with Liza Oseki.
Thank you so much, Benson. Good evening. I am Liza Oseki with your World of Sport, and we are starting off with football news. Sankoyo Bushbucks moved one step up to position 4 in the National First Division North League standings after crushing Makungulu Peso by 2-1 at Maung Sport Complex on Saturday. Mareta Kaisara reports for us.
Ngurungo did not take long to show their intention of collecting maximum points as Kakamazo Juda opened their account on the 3rd minute of the game. 37 minutes later, Makungulu Peswa cancelled the home side lead through Siputo Bontom. However, the visitors' celebrations were cut short as the Maung-based side took the lead again through Wamuratsikili Direzi just a few minutes before the halftime break. In the second half, both teams made several attempts to score but were let down by their poor finishing.
Our winner. Maintain a win here, and we have to improve our tactics.
We have to improve our tactics. In the second half, our opponents changed their formation and introduced more strikers with no defense. We wanted to use that opportunity, but we failed.
That opportunity, we could have scored 2 goals after we
consolidate our position high up on the log. Unfortunately, game the ref called for a penalty, which from where I was sitting, it was never a penalty. But nonetheless, after they converted from the penalty, we tried by all means to come into the game. We made the tactical changes, which yielded results. We came back. Half time, we went into the... After scoring, we made another defensive error, which they capitalized on.
Sankuyo's 6th victory elevated them from position 5 to position 4 of the log with 20 points, while Makungulu Peswa's 2nd loss downgraded them from position 2 to the 3rd spot with 22 points. Mareta Kaisara, BTV Sport, Maung.
Now, Prisons 11 put up a spirited fight in the Orange FA Cup Season 6 round of last 32, but their journey ended in a 5-3 penalty shootout loss to Taunyan Strikers at Tlokwem VDC grounds yesterday. The two teams had scored a goal each at the end of regulation time, forcing penalties where Young Strikers held their nerve to advance to the round of last 16. Tsepo Kihimile.
Both teams started the match with high intensity but failed to score. However, Prisons 11's relentless attacks paid off in the 44th minute when Tumo Gigitli capitalized on a defensive lapse to put his side ahead before the halftime break. In the second half, Young Strikers came back strongly, gradually pushing forward in search of an equalizer, and their breakthrough came in the 55th minute when Joshua Ngema leveled the score to make it 1-1. The match intensified as both sides searched for a winner, but despite multiple chances, neither team could find that decisive goal. With the match locked at 1-1 after regulation time, the dreaded penalty shootout followed. Prisons 11 faltered under pressure, converting only 3 of their 5 spot kicks, while Taunyan Strikers scored all 5 of theirs, securing a 5-3 shootout victory.
I think we made it very difficult for ourselves. We had the chances early on. We should have scored in the first 20 minutes. You know, the teams at the first division level, if you allow them to score first, they make it very difficult for us. But I must commend the guys for the strong mentality, for us to come back and get an equalizer. It's very commendable, but it was a very difficult game. But just to give them the belief that we can come back into the game, because games that should do. Sometimes it's about the mindset, not necessarily the tactics. So you have to give them the belief that we can come back into the game, and I'm quite happy that we came back and eventually won.
Yeah, we are disappointed with the result, but in terms of play, I think our play is some gillisan that because when second first half we to high that good. Our second half that really in illegal second half or our plan in illegal like I seen in illegal doors are in illegal but you money you the opponents. So I will say hello in the whole penal nights and listen.
The victory meant that Downtown Strikers marched into the round of last 16 of the Orange FA Cup Season 6. Tsebogi Himile, PTV Sport, Tlokweng.
And finally, Botswana Basketball Association Women's Commission Chairperson Boitumelo Bante has encouraged women to use sport as a platform for personal growth and to actively invest in their sporting careers. Bante shared the inspiring message during the Women's Month 3-on-3 basketball tournament held at Botswana University in celebration of International Women's Day. Khomotso Sefako.
Women's sport in Botswana have witnessed remarkable progress in recent years, showcasing immense potential for further growth.
That these young people, they realize that they are an important entity in basketball. Why? Because they cannot be Botswana Basketball Association without these young people. And again, we are here to encourage them to make sure that basketball can also take them somewhere, because we have young people that we have sent to abroad to go and study who are girls. And we are here again to also show them that their skills can also take them somewhere as girls.
Well, we found 3-on-3 to be an easier way of organizing it within that short space that we were given, and it has a lot more engagement, if I may say, because quite a lot of teams registered. We have 16 teams, 9 from the open category as well as 7 from the under 20 category. Well, such a tournament as this would help our league players prepare for their games, because our league is starting soon, so they need to keep fit, they need to get back in their game, and also just improve themselves as individuals and how they play.
The tournament, organized by Dynamics Basketball for the first time, attracted over 16 teams competing in both open and under 20 categories.
Actually, it helps because right now we can be working on what we have not been good at, Moliking, coming back, winning more games than the last season we've been doing.
It's exciting because we have a lot of young people showing up to play sports, and we're excited to see a lot of women as well, especially young women, picking up sports at a young age. It keeps them from so it's great to see young people actually participating and showing up. Yeah, so it's going well, I think. As you can see, the turnout, we have a lot of spectators. We have, technical that are actually running this thing, and it's going well. I'm happy about it.
In the open categories, Konteri emerged victorious after defeating Hoop Titans 17-12 in a thrilling final match. Natasha Lopan's outstanding performance earned her most valuable player title. In the other 20 category, Lions as Giants of Africa 10-8 in a closely contested match. Susan Mbata was named MVP for her impressive contributions. Khomzo Sefako, PTV Sport, Gaborone.
Well, that is it for sport this evening. Benson is standing by to give us a reminder of our top stories.
And President Boko back home from a working visit in the United States of America. Government commits to work with stakeholders in fighting gender-based violence. And companies continue to extend a helping hand to flood victims. Well, Well, that's it with our 9 o'clock English bulletin here on BTV. Up next, your weather, followed by Eye on Sadek.
Good evening and warm welcome to tonight's weather forecast brought to you by Lydia Wadikomo. Let's take a look at the rainfall amount recorded this morning. Sepakwa Life Camp 24 millimeters, Letlole Primary School 12 millimeters, Morocco Primary School 11 millimeters, Kari Primary School 10 millimeters, Senyawa Primary School 6 millimeters. Chadibe Primary School 3 millimeters, Mangukodi Kotla 2 millimeters, Mutle Primary School and Senator Primary School recorded 1 millimeter each. Looking at the current satellite image, clouds are visible over most parts of the country. Tomorrow, expecting cloudy, becoming partly cloudy conditions as the day progresses over southern, central, and northeast. Over most parts of the country, we're expecting partly cloudy conditions with possibility of isolated thunderstorms over most areas except Kalahati district. In the morning, we're expecting warm temperatures over most parts of the country between 17 and 19 degrees Celsius. In the afternoon, we're expecting temperatures to continue to be warm, ranging between 27 and 32 degrees Celsius. Now the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday over south and southeast Gauteng and Kweni, we're expecting isolated thunder showers with warm temperatures in the afternoons. Hansi and Kalahari district, we're expecting isolated thunder showers on both Wednesday and Thursday with warm temperatures in the afternoons. Isolated thunderstorms expected on both Wednesday and Thursday over Chobe and Gamilan district with warm temperatures in the afternoons. Central and Northeast, we're expecting isolated thunderstorms on both Wednesday and Thursday with warm temperatures in the afternoons. That's the weather forecast. Good night.
The road conditions are bad, but let's not minimize the floods were severe. The floods were severe, and for us to understand how the two actually came about, we have to understand how roads function. A road is basically a structure that is carefully constructed and put in place, but it's made of deteriorating material.